Well, here's my new SunGold inverter slash charge controller combination. Yeah, it's got a user manual and some little trinkets in there. I've also got some type of cord. Looks like an internet cord, Ethernet cord maybe. But I don't have internet out here, so that's not going to be probably not going to be using that one. Go ahead and see what's under here. This is the first time I've ever opened this box, so I don't know exactly what's going to be in here. But I know the inverter slash charge controller, that's what I'm really wanting. And here it is. Okay, so there's some other things down in the bottom. I'll have to pull those out. But that's what I'm really looking for right there. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm pretty excited to get it hooked up, so I'm going to get that as much as I can hooked up. I need to buy some 6-gauge copper wire, and then there's some wires in here. This looks like a VGA cable. I don't know why that's, guess I'll find out why that's in here. I don't know a whole lot about this inverter, so I'm taking one step at a time, and there's another kind of cable there. I don't know what that goes to. But I'm going to go ahead and get this unwrapped and get it set where I want it, or as far as what I'm doing right now, I'll just set it up, and then I might end up moving it later on to see where it fits best. All right, I'm looking here at the bottom of it. So we have AC in, AC out, and this is the PV for the solar panels. And this stuff down here with the VGA connection, I think that's if you have another one of these whole units, you can hook it in parallel, which is pretty neat. I might do that in the future if I ever get that big. And then some of this other stuff, Wi-Fi, USB. I'm not sure what that is. That might be something to do with parallel connection. I don't know. I'll find that out. And then obviously this is the battery here. And so you take this nifty little panel off. I already unscrewed it, so it just lifts off like this, and then you can get down in here and connect your wiring and make sure that's all good and tight. And there's the other insides of it. Well, you can only see a little bit, but you get a little bit of a view there. This is pretty interesting too. And it's got an emergency breaker on the side, so I'm planning to put fuses in the wire lines, so that'll be an extra safety there. And then I'll have the fuses, maybe some old breakers, not sure yet, but definitely I'll probably have some fuses in there just in case anything goes wrong. I don't want it to overheat or overload the circuit. So that's probably what I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on getting the fuses. I'm going to work on getting the wiring, because I'm going to need some heavy duty wiring, because I'm going to be pulling maybe hitting 50 amps output on this thing. And we've got I think this is made for 100 amps input. So I'm going to need some heavy duty wiring for sure from the panels to this box, and then from this box to the house. And so I'm going to have to make sure I get the right sized wiring and make sure nothing overheats. I'm going to definitely want to have some fuses and possibly, like I said, maybe some breakers. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna definitely get those fuses. I'm gonna definitely get some large wires, and we'll go from there. And I'll try to give a good update when I get those wires and get everything hooked up. And I'm pretty excited to get this show on the road. This has been a long time coming, and so pretty excited. And there's also another mounting. So that hole right there is a third mounting hole, and it has 2 on the top here. So I'm going to hang it by these 2 holes at the very top, and then it has another little mounting hole right there. And so what I'm thinking is I might put a, sorry about all the wires, I've got wires going everywhere. That's my old charge controller and AC inverter, what I'm running my lights on right now. But I'm thinking I might put a 2x4, something, might put it across, might do one side here and go all the way across to over there, and then mount the inverter right here in the middle, and then that way I can hook that third mounting hole right here and the other two mounting holes up there. And I'm gonna have to do some measuring because I want to make sure there is enough ventilation, and I'm a little concerned in this small area because there's a vent here. Obviously there are vents here for the fans, and then there's another vent on this side, and so I definitely want to make sure there is plenty of space so it doesn't get overheated, because this is an expensive piece of equipment, and really, I mean, without this thing the whole system goes down. So, well, I guess that's true with the battery too, but probably after I was looking through the I just flipped through the manual for this inverter, and so I think I might put this battery down underneath here somewhere, just so it's kind of separated. And then I think I'll have the charge controller / inverter right here, and then maybe the battery, I might put it down in the corner somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but just something so, you know, just in case anything ever does happen, if it overheats and something were to catch fire or whatever may happen, I just don't want to risk anything happening more so than it already is if that were to happen. But hopefully that never happens, because I'm using the right gauge wire and I'm using what I'm supposed to be doing. So I think we should be good. I don't even know what gauge wire this is that came with a battery. I don't see a gauge on here. I'll have to check that out. It says DC 1500 volts. Gracious, that's a mighty plenty number there. I don't know what the gauge is on this wire. It doesn't say. I'm curious now, but yeah, like I said, this should be going out on the AC to the house no more than 50, maybe 55 amps. So I'm thinking 6 gauge wire should be plenty for that. And I'm probably going to get 6 gauge or so for going out to the panels and then coming into here. I'm probably going to try to do 6 gauge wire, but I'm going to have to see. I hope that will work in these slots. I mean, you have to separate them into the ground, the live, and the neutral there. So I guess we'll see.